Thank you so much for coming tonight. It's such a pleasure to be here and to be the person who will introduce Ron Ehrenberg. So Ron Ehrenberg was a 1966 graduate in mathematics who went on afterwards for his doctorate to Northwestern. And so I introduce him as a fellow faculty member because he's a faculty member at Cornell. So before I start the specifics on him, I'd just like to say that being a faculty member or a staff member or an administrator in a university is one of life's great privileges. It's because being in education is one of the greatest opportunities in the world. Every day you come to work, you work on questions to which there are not yet answers. You help people develop their own talents, reach their own ambitions, and then you see what happens in the world. And you don't know what it is, but it's a profession of optimism and faith in people and in progress. So the work that we do is service at the same time that it's work, if you do it right. And Ron has spent his life doing it right. Now, I need to tell you, I didn't know all the things I'm going to mention here by magic. I had studied, of course, Ron's biography, but I was also sent a series of notes of the different accomplishments that I should include in this presentation, which is supposed to be 2 to 3 minutes. I read the accomplishments out loud at home just to see, without any sentences in them, if they would fit in 2 to 3 words, and it took me 12 minutes reading very quickly. So I'm afraid, Ron, that I'm not going to be reading all your accomplishments. But I hope that the examples that I give will suffice for everyone to see how in his work as an economist, in his work as a professor, and in his work as an alumnus of this university, he has earned many times over the Glenn G. Bartle Award. So Ron he's not retired. He is a distinguished economist who is in his 40th year or has just passed it at Cornell. He has published over 160 papers that he has authored or co-authored, 26 books that he has either written or edited. He has supervised 45 PhDs, been on countless other committees. Now, if you are in our world of faculty service, you know that all of this is not just your work as it's narrowly defined. It's your work in the great picture of things. He is highly recognized at his university. Right now, he holds the Irving M. Ives Professor of Industrial and Labor Relations, and he's director of the Cornell Higher Education Research Institute. He has been a vice president and a trustee at the university. He is a SUNY trustee. He has served on editorial boards. He serves on editorial boards. He's on commissions. He gives advice to people in positions of great power. He helps everyone. He helps me. We met, and the next thing I find in my email box is an article that he thinks I should read. That's service. That's service, helping somebody learn. He has won so many awards, I can't go into them. I'll give just 2 examples. Cornell created the Ronald G. Ehrenberg Professorship in Labor Economics, okay? It's a little awkward to put it this way, but Ron is with us. You know, usually professorships are for people who we know but we don't see anymore in the flesh. This is an extremely unusual honor. In 2011, he was named by the Society of Economists the Jacob Mincer, I can't read my writing anymore, I'm so sorry, Carcer Award for Lifetime Achievement as an economist. He brings honor and service to our entire profession. Now, I note that many of the honors that he won and that you are not going to hear about are not easy honors. It's very hard to get them, but then you get them and you have to work. The honor involves working afterwards. So he's a founding editor of Research in Labor Economics. He's a fellow of multiple boards, such as the Labor and Employment Relations Association. He's a member of the National Academy of Education. He's a national associate of the National Academies of Science and Engineering. Here in Binghamton, he has served on the Harpur College Economic Advisory Council. He has named a scholarship, the Judith and Seymour Ehrenberg Endowed Scholarship. And he and his wife, Randy, have named a memorial award, the Eric Lawrence Ehrenberg Memorial Award for their son. He has a lifetime of service to everyone, I would say, right? Students, faculty, fellow alums, community members, the university where he works, and thank goodness for us, Binghamton University. Please help me welcome up to the podium, Ron Ehrenberg.
This award is actually special to me because I was at Binghamton when Glenn Bartle was president. And so I can actually say I know who Glenn Bartle, Glenn Bartle was. But I must confess that being an active alum is not very hard when you only live an hour away and when you're a faculty member who can just come down and do what he does at his own institution at another institution. So I really want to thank all of the people who are in this room who have come much further than I have come and who mean so much to this university. The university really appreciates everything that you all do. My undergrad years at Harpur fundamentally transformed me, launched my career, and most importantly, introduced me to my wife, Randy. We now have been married for 48 years, or will be married. She was an extraordinary teacher, school administrator, award-winning, and she completed her career spending 9 years at an award-winning school district, North Colony. Is anybody here from the Albany area? North Colony in the Albany, New York area. In addition to being the love of my life and my best friend, she also has provided me with many, many research ideas over the course of my career, and we have written numbers of papers together. Harpur College was an extraordinary place when I started as a 16-year-old freshman in 1962, and so I wanted to tell you all a little bit about it. I mean, Binghamton University is an extraordinary place now, but Harpur College was something very, very special then. It was the only liberal arts college in the whole state system. And that was because when SUNY was first established, the private universities put a lot of pressure on the legislature to limit what SUNY could do. They just wanted SUNY to be a set of teachers' colleges. The early 60s were before the selective private universities had adopted their policy of need-blind admission and need-based financial aid. I was actually admitted to Cornell's College of Arts and Sciences, but I could not go for financial reasons. Harpur, which only had 4 undergraduate students in a class, tuition was extremely low. Back in the 1960s, New York State had a merit scholarship program called the Regents Program, so our tuition for those of us who were fortunate to win it, which was probably about 80 or 90% of the Harpur class, our tuition was free. And the admission policy was extraordinarily competitive because you had all of these lower income and lower middle income children who had the opportunity to go to this college and wanted to go there. President Bartle's goal was to create in Binghamton the Swarthmore of a public university, and he most certainly did. And the motto of SUNY back there was "Let each become all he is capable of being." And although today we would think that this was a little bit of a sexist thing to say, in fact we all did. In my class, over 10% of the graduates went on to get PhDs, and even a greater percentage went on to get other types of professional degrees. And over half of the PhDs in my class were female, which was extraordinary for that period of time. And I just want to mention the name of a few of them and some of the honors that they've had. This won't mean much to most of the alumni, but for the faculty and administration here, they will understand. Among the female alums of my class was Elaine Yuka, who was a math major, became a very famous computer sciences, and was one of the first women admitted to the National Academy of Engineering. Leslie Ungerleider, that wasn't her name when she was at Harpur. She was Leslie Cohn then, and she is a very distinguished scientist who's a member of the National Academy of Sciences. And Deborah Cannon, who is a Georgetown University linguistics professor and a really noted author. And among the male PhDs, and close friends of mine, were Steve Diner, who spent 10 years as president, he was a history major, 10 years as president of Rutgers University at Newark, and my freshman roommate, Bert Holland, who was chairman of the statistics department at Temple before he unfortunately developed ALS disease and died in 2010. Now, my parents had programmed me to be my parents were both New York City public school teachers, and they had programmed me to be a high school mathematics teacher. But when I got here, I learned from the faculty that individuals make their own choices and set their own paths. And I learned from them that great teachers have many different styles. Some of them give captivating lectures. Some of them use humor to try to keep students on their toes. Some of them are friends with students outside the classroom. Some of them give the most difficult reading list in the world and make your work like a dog. And as I look back and see where I am now, I see how much what these professors meant to me in terms of what they taught me about being a professor. And from them, I also learned the importance role that we play in terms of influencing students' lives, often in ways that we cannot even begin to comprehend. And almost every year when students come back for a reunion at Cornell, they tell me, a student will come up to me, I will have no idea who the student is, by the way, and they will say, you said this thing to me, and that fundamentally influenced my life. And this thing of what professors do is extraordinary. And I hope for those alums who are sitting in the room, if you have this feeling about what a professor has done for you, in the way that my students have told me, I hope you will let them know if you haven't already told them. It will mean a lot to them. It will especially mean a lot to the older faculty and the emeritus faculty who are nearing the ends of who are at the end of their careers or nearing the ends of their careers to know what their life has been to other people. So in conclusion, I want to thank the Alumni Association for this award. Binghamton University is a very special place to me, and I feel very lucky to have been here. Thank you.